Hello, everybody. It's Gloria from GGTheCrochetQueen. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I will be doing a crochet along for this vintage Snood. Was Patricia Patterson was on my on my Facebook group, and she said she liked it and said she wanted me to do a crochet along. So that is what I'll be doing. I like these. I had it on, but it was way too hot for me. I don't tend to wear hats closed in like this anyway, and I do like it. I believe this is a trellis stitch. So I will give 5 minutes to see who joins me to do this crochet along. And if no one joins me, I will go ahead and start it. And if Patricia doesn't show up, then she can hopefully watch the replay. Hey, Darcia, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. And I hope you get a thumbs up. I hope I'm saying your name right. I just thought about that. I think I said that the last time. I hope I'm saying your name right. Will you be doing the crochet along with me? Okay, what am I? Let me turn this off. It's distracting right now. And if anybody wants to, I think it's YouTube channel is vintage. I think it's vintage crochet. Now I can't remember. Let me make sure I give her props. This is if you're fast, what is it called? Vintage, just vintage crochet. That's the YouTube channel. Just vintage crochet or Snood pattern. I am good. Thank you for asking. I'm going to be using this. What in the world is going on here? Go away. Okay. I am going to use this. Ah! Is it me or is it the... I think the gremlins are out. Hey, VJ, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. Let me know if you all hear me or see me because I do not see me anymore. That is on mute. Okay, can you hear me now? This computer is doing what it wants to do. Okay, perfect. See me and hear me. Okay. So for this project, for this snood, you'll need a 6 millimeter hook and a yarn needle, stitch markers, and know how to do a chain, a double crochet, slip stitch, and a single crochet. Those are the stitches. Nothing big to them. And this is not the, what do you call it? Kelly, I don't do the overhead thing because I have yet to figure it out. One day I will, but I haven't. I thought I would be able to figure it out by the time I did another crochet along, but it did not happen. Thank you, VJ, for putting that in there for me. Hola, Maritza. How are you today? Thank you for joining me. Your audio isn't working. Okay, so DB, so you don't hear me? It came back on. Well, let me know if you hear me or not, because it looks like the gremlins are coming out of nowhere. Probably because I don't turn this computer on enough, this laptop. Okay, you're good. Okay, Melanie hears me. Okay, good. All right, so this will take a couple of hours, depending on how fast you crochet. I'm slow, so I'm giving myself a couple of hours. Wait, everyone, my channel. Okay, so to get this started, you need to make a chain of 5, or if you prefer, you can do a magic circle, but you want to do a chain of 5 and slip stitch to join to make your circle. Well, I just love this yellow. Oh my goodness. Okay, you can hear me great. Yeah, I have Nightbot, but Nightbot quit on me a long time ago, and I never went back to do it again. So, say the least, me and Nightbot are not friends anymore. So, after you do your chain 5, you want to do another chain of 5 and slip stitching that you do. How did you use to do your old tutorials? Well, I always played a video, but I got in trouble playing that video, so I'm not going to do that again. When I wasn't monetized, YouTube didn't care. Once I got monetized, YouTube cared, so I don't do that anymore. Because the last one I did was the little flower pot from Bruna, and YouTube sent me a nice little message letting me know that it wasn't my original um, video and that any proceeds from it was going to her. Oh, not your tutorial. No, my tutorials always record them. So then I never do live tutorials. I usually do a crochet along. I guess that's a tutorial, but for my stuff, I always record it. All right, so you chain 5, you slip stitch into your circle and chain 5 again and repeat that. You want to repeat it where you have 7 loops. So chain 5 and slip stitch into the circle until you have 7 loops. And let me know. Whoever's doing it, let me know when you get to your 7 loops. Oh, I'm gonna have to move my coffee. How do I record? I record on my phone, and then I upload it to KindMaster and put in all the other accessories, and then I upload it to um, YouTube from KindMaster. That's the only thing. I used to do it on my computer, but it would take hours for it to upload. So then I asked Alicia how did she do hers, and she told me about Kind Master. So I have been a Kind Master person for years now. When I first purchased it, I think it was really cheap when I first bought it. Now, like everything else, it has gone up. And the sad thing for me is that it has a lot of features that I just don't know. Do you set up your phone the way you do when you record? No, you have to. I have to set it up with OBS. I can't just. I me and technology are not friends. Now, if you want to do a thing and we go over it, do a private chat and do it that way, and you can tell me how to do it, I'm all for it. My friend was over here a few months ago, and we were trying to do OBS, and we kept getting that background noise, and I just couldn't figure it out, so I just let it go. Hey, Brianna, how are you today? Thank you for joining me, and I hope you did a thumbs up. Thank you for, she dropped her like. Okay, thank you so much. And how is everybody's weather going? But VJ, I am open to learning. Just let me know because I don't understand. I don't know how to do it. All right, I'm on my 7th loop. Okay. Yay, we're live. Yep, I am live. I thought the weather was nice earlier, then about 5 minutes, I was ready to be inside. Yeah, it's hot. I'm hot and I'm in the house and it's hot. I had my little thing on. I was gonna come on with it on. I said, no, it's too hot. I'm hot with this black t-shirt on. I'm hot with anything on my head. And I'm still drinking hot coffee. No, it's too much, too hot. Okay, so when you get to your 7 loops, you want to chain 2. And in the base of your, the base of your first, I'll show you. I hope you can see me, see this. In the base of the first loop that you made down here, in the base of that loop, do a double crochet. And if you don't understand any of this, VJ has put the YouTube channel in the chat, so you can always go back to it. Yeah, it's popsicle hour, and I'm right next to the AC. I know there's a vent right above my head, and I have the fan going. The first thing I thought about today was, ooh, those $200 electricity bills are right around the corner. Right around the corner. Okay. Okay, Darcia. Who else is doing this with me? Just Darcia? Yes, over 200. When from if the temperature doesn't change and it continues to go up, it's going each bill from now until probably October or November, there'll be over $200. Ooh, you cannot retire in Florida unless you got some real money. But I'm going to retire now. I will not have real money. I have some money, but no real money. You too as well. Thank you for joining. Okay, so after you do your double crochet, you want to chain 5 again. and slip stitch into your next loop, chain 5 again, and slip stitch into the next loop. And you repeat that all the way around. Yes, BJ, I would like to be able to do that 2 screenshot thing, but have not mastered it yet. Everything is on my laptop though, for it all to be done. And then when you slip stitch into your last loop, you want to chain 2 and do a double crochet on top of that double crochet. And then you want to put a slip stitch, not a slip, a stitch marker into that double crochet. Hey Sheila, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for driving up my driveway. The door is open. Thank you for the thumbs up. So this is what it should look like right now. Where am I? I'm going to close up that hole as I go. That's why I like my magic circle, but I said I'll stick with the chain 5. I can still get that hole closed up. Now we're going to be doing an increase. So to do the increase, you want to slip stitch where you are, slip stitch into the space of the chain 2 and the double crochet, chain 5, and then slip stitch into that same space. Chain 5 again, slip stitch into your next loop, chain 5, and slip stitch into that same loop. And that is your repeat all the way around. Hello, Shatika Woods. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you get a thumbs up. I'm doing a crochet along. Hopefully someone will get something out of this. And if you want to go and check out the video, be my guest. But after mine. So you are doing 5 chains, slip stitch, 5 chain, and another slip stitch, and then do 5 chains and slip stitch into the next loop, and 5 chains and slip stitch into the same loop. That is the repeat until you get to the last loop. I'm making sure I don't count so I don't throw anybody off. Now when you get to the end of that last slip stitch, you want to again chain 2, and where you put your stitch marker, do a double crochet there. Now that should give you 16 loops. So make sure you have 16 loops. Uh-oh, did I miss one? I missed one somewhere. Oh, you may have missed some your first. I'm pulling this out. And I'm good for frogging because if it's not right, why keep going at it? So you should have 8. Let's make sure I have 8. Your last ones. That's where I'm missing. You should have a total of 8 loops. I missed a loop somewhere. Yep, right there. At the very beginning, I miss a loop. How did I miss a loop at the very beginning? So make sure you have 8 loops, and that chain 2 counts as one of your loops. Now, okay, I'm on track now. And Darcy, if you want to come up, let me know if that'll help you more. I'm getting back to round 2 because I somehow missed my loops. I don't know how I missed them that fast, but I did. Does everybody know Monday is Earth Day? I was thinking about the first time that I learned about Earth Day. I was in Germany, and that had to be in the 80s. and it was a very my ve and I don't even know where it is because it was so irrelevant to me at the time. Um, and they gave us, reusable bags, had AAFES on it, what is it? Mm, Something Armed Forces Exchange or whatever the heck it had on it. And I had it for a while. I couldn't tell you to this day what I did with that thing. Knowing me, my irrelevant self probably ditched it. Okay, so I'm back. I just finished round 2, so again, you should still have 8 loops. And again, the chain 2 counts as a loop. So I'm gonna wait for Darcia to make sure she's all right. So I bought I bought this bunny pattern off of Etsy. It was cute. I didn't bring the pattern in here. It was a cute pattern, but when I was working it up, I was like, I don't like these extremely long legs for a bunny because the picture makes it look small. So I thought it was going to be a cute little small bunny. Well, it probably is small considering she used very small yarn and I didn't. But when I worked it up, I was like, this thing is too big to be a bunny for me. So I made it into a little girl. But what I didn't do was I didn't put um, anything in her head, in her neck area to hold it, keep the head from bobbing. So her head bobs. But I think she's so cute. So I made her some little curly cues because, of course, me and my doing what I want to do, I did not pin her wig cap down, so it was a little lopsided. So I just gave her some curly cues to kind of offset that lopsidedness. And I made this cute little dress for her. Now the dress is from the pattern, but the rest of it is what I just made her because she should have had ears. I made her a bun, and I just love how it all turned out. She just is cute. Now she like a little girl. I like her. I didn't give her a mouth. I just kept looking at her and said, no mouth. But I wish I had put something so her head would, I didn't stuff it enough to offset it, but she's mine. I'm okay. I think I skipped a stitch or two. My fingers are not cooperating. Okay, I understand. Well, let me know when you're ready to do the increase again. I was so hot last week that I almost made an appointment to get my locks cut. They're heavy, and then one day I just put them down, and I was like, oh, that's why they're so heavy because they're up on my head. So then I pulled them down, pulled them all back, and I got a little coolness. So I might make my 5 years. Okay, so we're ready. We're going to slip stitch between that chain 2 space in the double crochet. And then chain 5 and slip stitch into the same space again. Chain 5 again, slip stitch into your next loop, chain 5, and slip stitch into that same loop again. Hey, Patricia, we're doing this because you wanted it. She's so cute. I'm sorry I'm late. Overslept, worked late last night. Okay. Well, you can catch VJ put in the pattern from the YouTube channel that I got this pattern from. So you can always go and check out her pattern and you can always watch the replay. We haven't gotten very far. We're on round 3 right now. This is the increase round. Okay. So that's what you're going to be doing in each one of the loops. You're going to chain 5, slip stitch into the loop, chain 5, and slip stitch into the loop again. And then when you get to your last loop, when you do the slip stitch, you want to chain 2 and double crochet. And you should have 16 loops, including that chain 2 after that. Okay, I am finished with the first increase round. All right, let me count, make sure I have 16. I already see where I missed it. Yep. If you don't get that count right, it will definitely be wonky looking. I think on my black and white one back there, I think I did a miscount because it's smaller than the other ones. I probably was doing it while I was half asleep. See, VJ, I'm trying to get my colors coordinated. Lovely. Ah, That took me. I'm trying to get it all coordinated so that I can get some of this yarn out of the bags, out of the boxes, out of the everything in, so I can have room to roam around in the room. 'Cause right now I do not have room to roam. If I can get my count right, I can get moving on from this one round. So Darcia, if you have your count right, then the next round will be, it won't be an increased round, it'll be just, let me get my count right before I go on to the next. Finally, finally got it right. BJ, I was on your live yesterday, and again, I could not click on the chat. I don't know why, but couldn't. But you had some. I was like, what in the world are they talking about? I was so lost. I had no clue what you all were talking about. But it sounded like some drama that this mama don't want to be dealing with. Okay, I have my 16 loops, including my chain 2. How are you, Darcia? And this is what it looks like so far. Oh, the gremlin's at me. Kind of looks like a snowflake. So now this is going to be round 4, and round 4 is just chain 5 and slip stitch into each one of the loops. And you should still have your 16 loops, including your chain 2. Do you have that problem in anyone else's life? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I get in when I click on, sometimes I don't. I don't know if that's a waiting period or what. I don't know. You may need to update your app. All my apps usually update on their own. But usually it has monitor your privacy or something like that. It says or follow the YouTube guidelines or something. And I click on it and I click back and I click and I still don't get in. So I don't know what the deal is. Sometimes it goes and sometimes it doesn't. So this go around, Darcia, it will definitely be waffly, but that's okay. That's what it's supposed to be. Just make sure when you finish at the end with your chain 2, you still have 16 loops, including that chain 2. Is Brianna still there? What are you working on, Brianna, if you're still there? All right, let me make sure. I have my 16. Ah, 16. So that's what it looks like right now. Get all these turned this way. Still looks like a snowflake, but a little waffly on the phone or on the computer. On my phone. I do most things on my phone. It does look like a snowflake, yep. Okay, now let me see. Are we on round 4? Yep. No, we're on round 5. Yep, round 5 is another increase round. Starting to get loopy. Is loopy in a good way? Do you have your 16 loops, including the chain 2? Ah, I had to help him record a commercial in Spanish. Ooh la, that's fun. When I did my German class, we had to write a scenario in German. The only thing I could remember was being in Germany, and when we went to try on clothes, like we have male, female, they just have a fitting room. So when the man walked in there, it kind of caught me off guard, like, what? Why are these men in here? They don't do that separate thing. It's just one big room and everybody going to their own little cubicle or whatever, their little room. But no, it may be okay, it may be in a good way. Okay, good. Okay, so round 5 is another increase round. So we're going to slip stitch into that space where the double crochet and the chain 2 and chain 5 and slip stitch back into that space again and chain 5 and slip stitch into your next loop, chain 5 and slip stitch into that same loop, and that is the repeat. Chain 5, slip stitch into the next loop, chain 5, slip stitch into that same loop. And when you finish this round, you should have 32 loops, including your chain 2. Now let's see if I can do this without having to frog it. We did a commercial about Gatorade and him playing basketball. We included our pug. It was hilarious. Oh, that's cute. And when I did my German class, it was so strange because our teacher was Italian, and one of the ladies that I work with, she was from Sweden. So um, when I was writing my thing, she was helping me write it. Like I was surprised our Italian teacher didn't roll into Italian at some point. Probably did. We just didn't know it. Very first day of class, she's speaking in German, and we all looking at each other like, "What?" But that's what they say. You have to immerse yourself in the language. And I know I should have done Spanish, but German was the first foreign language I was introduced to. So I said, my brain cannot handle another foreign language. Let me go. At least I know a few words in this language. Let me go with that. Plus, down here in Florida, it's very hard to get into the Spanish classes because everybody's gone, and of course we have a huge Hispanic population. So of course they were taking the classes too because that's an easy A for some of them. I screwed up somewhere, but I find it later. Let's carry on. Okay. I understand because believe me, it's very, very easy to mess up on these loops. I think I did an extra. No, maybe I didn't. This feels like I did an extra one. Nah, it's not. German has more words like English as far as I'm concerned. I don't really have to roll my tongue in German like you do in Spanish. My daughter definitely knows how to roll her tongue. Nope. I got a lazy American tongue. We no like to roll the tongue. When Claudette posts her German tutorials before she posts the English ones, I just sit there and listen to it to see if I understand anything she's saying. Most times I don't. When she's counting, I understand the counting, but actually never crocheted with anybody in Germany, so I didn't know. And now that I listen to so many Spanish tutorials, I understand more of what they're saying in Spanish than and actually Claudette is the only German um, person that I follow. So, but I follow a lot of Spanish speakers and some Portuguese. Portuguese definitely throws me off. Portuguese sounds like French and Spanish to me. Or maybe, yeah, yeah, I think it sounds like French and Spanish to me. Now, Portuguese is another language I need to learn because we got a whole big Brazilian community around here. Where is my, did I miss it? No, I couldn't have missed it. So, Melanie, tell me what words in Spanish are like English words. 'Cause I can't think of one. Nary a one. Okay, so let's make sure we have 32. Fingers crossed. Woo, 32. Hello, Diane. How are you today? Thank you for joining me. Ah, okay. Like por favor is not nothing in English. So that is what it looks like so far. So now here's the easy part. From round 6 through, let me see, how many is it? For the next 9 rounds. So round 6 through 14. Is that right? Yeah. Round 6 through 14. I think that's right. Yeah, 6 through 14. You just chain 5 and slip stitch into each loop around, and it's going to be really wobbly then, all wonky looking. But you do that, and again at the end you do a chain 2 and the double crochet. I'm going to try to catch up. I love those earrings. Thank you so much. Hope that made sense. So all you're doing is just chaining 5, slip stitching into the next loop until you get around to the last one, and then you do a chain 2 and a double crochet. And make sure you have your stitch marker laced in that double crochet. And what I usually do is I have 2 stitch markers, so where that stitch marker is, I leave it there. That way I know where I started and I don't have to keep counting. I can just count from that stitch marker and then use the other stitch marker to move it up. Okay, I like this color and I have so much of it. I have no idea why I have this big, but I've had it for a while. So I guess I've been making something here and there with it, like I always do. And I said I was going to stop buying yarn, but when I started making that little doll, I really, really like the texture of that yarn. It's cotton yarn. And it's from my least favorite place to shop. I don't even know why. Why did I buy that yarn the first time anyway? Oh, I had bought it. Oh, I know why I bought it. I bought it. When I was watching Yolanda's tutorial on her, I think it was on her ballerina, whatever doll she has a tutorial on YouTube. She used I love that cotton yarn, and I bought it, but I'd never used it for her doll, so I don't even know why what I bought, what I did with it. But anyway, so when I saw that bunny pattern, I said, "Oh well, let me use this yarn." And then I just didn't like the bunny pattern because the legs were just way too long. So I said, if I do the bunny pattern and use the same yarn, I'm just going to make the legs half the size or quarter or 3/4 of the size. I just didn't like those long legs for a bunny at least. And it was so funny. I picked up some red, so I want to make a halter top. And when I got to the register, I kept looking at the red, and I was like, "That red, those colors are off." So I said, "Oh, they must be a different dye lot." So I picked it up and I looked and there were different dye lots. And the young man that was at the register said, "Oh no, you look at the SKU code." I said, "No, you look at the dye lot." So then I had to go back and find the right because nothing is uglier than having 2 shades of something when you think you're all cute and stuff, and then you start looking at it, it's like, "Wait a minute, that shade is this one and this shade is that one." Now, if you're going for that, that works, but that's not what I was going for. And they were 30% off, so I still felt the pain, but they weren't full price. So I'll see how they work up for wearable because I've only used it so far for an amigurumi. But it's very soft. I like the texture of it. It's definitely softer than the is it Lion brand, the 24/7? I think Lion brand makes the 24/7. Yeah, the 24/7 cotton. That's not soft yarn. Not for not to me for a wearable. Probably after the first washing, it probably softens up a lot. I have to go to Michael's to get more of their black yarn for the doll here today. Have a 10 off for work. What is it their brand or is it some other brand? I haven't been to Michael's in a minute. And they send me all the time, all those text messages. They want me. I guess if Joanne closes on me, I'm gonna have to go to Michael's. I found all of my jewelry chains because I wanted to make some pom-pom earrings, and I almost went out and bought some. And as I'm trying to get my yarn organized, I pull out this little bag, and the bag is from AC Moore. It had all kinds of little chains in there that I could use to make the pom-pom earrings. I was like, oh, thank you, AC Moore. You saved me. Still in the packaging, never been open. That just tells you I overbuy. I use their brand or Walmart's brand. Walmart is further though. Okay. Yeah, Walmart brand has come up when they moved from their China people to the Turkish people. That yarn much improved. And I think that this I love this yarn is Walmart's mainstay cotton. They are very similar, very similar. They're probably made in the same factory, just like Purdue chicken, made in the same factory, sold under Walmart's name at a less price. But all them little birdies are in the same place. Tyson's, all of them. Just slap a name brand name on it, add another dollar to it, and call it their own. Ooh, did I miss one? Because that's a big space. Maybe I didn't. I hope not. Mhm. I'll be so mad at myself. But if I do, as Darcia said, I'm going to carry on. I am not frogging. It's just going to be wonky looking. What are you working on, Melanie? Other than putting all your dolls together, how many dolls have you gotten completed since the last time? And I say, oh no, where's my other? Uh, did I take my, I tell you, this is what it looks like so far. Wonky looking. Let me see. So far, $23 have clothes and hair. Still have about 10. Oh, goodness. I need hair and clothes. Oh, goodness. That's a whole lot of doll making going on. Are you going to be doing any fairs? I just can't do the fairs. That's just way too much work for me. If I had someone to help me, I would think about it. But I haven't really seen any that's reasonably priced. I said all this work you have to do and have to pay an arm and a leg for a little space. Man, okay, mine is getting like that, but one side is a little bigger, but not much. Okay, so that sounds like you must have put an extra loop somewhere. And I think, I hope I have all mine right, because if I don't, it's just gonna be a little wonky looking too. But it looks like they're all right. So love this yellow. This might be one of my favorite colors. What color are you doing yours in, Darcia? I was gonna use some of my yellow from, what's it called? Big Twist. I was like, I got too many other schemes that have already been started for something. Let me get to work on one of these. And then I saw this yellow. I was like, oh, perfect. All right, Miami Heats are playing for their lives. Is it 35? Okay. I think it's best to do it the way we do or on Whatnot. They charge a lot for craft fairs now. They do, and I looked into it here, but I was like, every one of them I saw, I was like, no, that's way. It's so much work to do the craft fair. You're out there for so many hours. And now, this time of the year is definitely not a good time to do craft fairs in Florida because it's too doggone hot. I say more power to the ones that do it. But if I did it, it would have to be like in a November or December when it's a little cooler and it's not hurricane season or the rainy season, which is hurricane season. They showed there was in Dubai, I think they said they had enough rain in one day for an entire year. And they showed this little kitten holding on to the handle of a car. It was so funny. I said that cat was like, not today. This is gonna be one of my lives that I'm gonna just make it. So I think the police or somebody went by and scooped him off the door, but he did not want to let go. And some people say there isn't climate change. We're having a crisis in Florida. The sea level is rising and gentrification is on the upswing. Moving off of the coastline and moving in the cities and taking over these small communities. People barely can afford to live, and now you got a big rich person coming in, buying up the little land, building. They have a man in Coral Gables. I think he's in Coral Gables. He would not sell his house, and the developers built all around his house. So he only has little sunlight that comes through from the top. Then they gave him um, what do you call it? Code enforcement um, gave him a not a penalty. I can't even think what I'm trying to say. Anywho, he had to pay. He had to get a new garage covering, which is nothing but just a little cover. It wasn't a garage. It wasn't fixed to the house. Just one of those canopies. And he had to get a new one. And they harassed him for every reason they could think to harass this man. And he said he is not leaving his house. And they just built right around his house. A fine, yes. I was like, these developers, I'm telling you, they got it. They got the money. And today they talked to a man in Little Haiti. He has a bookstore. He's 80 years old. And they are buying up all the land in Little Haiti and building these luxury condos, apartments. And then, developers love to say, oh, but some of that money is in there for low income housing. I was like, okay, we've heard that before. They say, oh, here's a voucher, and then nobody wants the vouchers. Ridiculous. But we all know money talks, people walk. And unfortunately, We already have a housing crisis in Florida because most of us can't even afford homeowners insurance. And instead of our governor being more concerned about that, he's concerned about kindergartens learning about communism. But he don't want high school schoolers to learn about slavery. Make that make sense, people. Make that make sense. But nobody will insure in Florida. And the quote unquote citizens insurance is just ridiculous. And there have been all of these tornadoes and up northern part of Florida. So I'm sure when I get that next renewal, it's gonna be another chunk of change added to my mortgage. I can't believe how much homeowners insurance has gone up since this house was bought. And this year, it's supposed to be a serious hurricane year. And I'm hoping that it does not come to fruition like last year. It didn't. We skated by. At least I don't recall us having. There were hurricanes, but I don't think we had any. They had that that rain storm. Lot that was downright scary. I was so grateful I didn't live in that area. But now, hoping that these major hurricanes that they are predicting do not come true. I hope it's like a quiet hurricane season. But when I look at all this crazy weather that has preceded hurricane season, it makes me scared. What can you do? Prepare. Prepare as best as you can, as we have no control over Mother Nature. She gonna do what she do. Does anybody watch The Amazing Race? That is like my all-time favorite show to watch. I love The Amazing Race. I like Survivor, but Survivor is based on people, not you yourself, based on people. Amazing Race is too stressful for me, but I do watch Survivor. Why isn't Survivor stressful for you? I don't like that backstabbing stuff in Survivor. I watch it, but I prefer The Amazing Race because it's you against whoever your best um, competition, unlike Survivor, is who likes you, who thinks you're a threat, if you can win the immunities and all that stuff. It's just too much. Plus, there's no way. When I was much younger, like when Survivor first started, it's like, oh yeah, I'd like to do that. Now, when I watch it, I'm like, woo, child. There's a lady on there. She's an older lady with on there with her son. I did not think they were gonna make it this last time, but they made it. and the couple from Canada, they were they lost, and they're doing it differently this year because every time, if you're the last to come in, you are out. But Survivor is a mess. I wouldn't do Survivor at all for no reason. You are not gonna put me out there with the snakes and whatever critters are out there. No, sir. And have to wear the same 2, 3 pieces of clothing that you brought with you. We gonna pass on that all day. I just can't even imagine how stinky that whole Survivor thing is. The last time I watched, I had to do stuff with. Oh yeah, maybe it's all the traveling they gotta do on. But that's the fun of the Amazing Race is to see all those different countries. Even though they're running around like maniacs, but when there's downtime, I'm sure they get to enjoy some little tidbits of it. The adventures that they do it's like some of that stuff I don't want to do. Like when they were in the last the last season, I forgot what country were they in, Finland or they were in some country. I can't even remember, but they had to do those planes that aren't really they're like sailing planes. They don't have an engine, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. They do some interesting stuff. When they had to go and dive in that cold water, I was like, I'm out. Deuces. Ah, they do some interesting things on the Amazing Race. They go to a lot of countries, but they have scaled back a lot. After the big sea came rolling through, a whole lot of things have scaled back. But I love it. I get such a joy out of watching it. Wouldn't want to do it anymore. Thought I did when I was younger. Got smarter. I would do it especially because you are with a group of people, but I can't be crazy or do crazy activities. Too old for that. I know. When they went from doing just normal kind of just racing and then they started doing crazy stuff, I was like, okay, y'all are getting now it's like the Amazing Race plus Fear Factor plus Survivor. Fear Factor, I'm so glad that doesn't come on anymore. Woo. They can keep Fear Factor all day, all night. Okay, Darcia, how far along are you? Gotta make sure I did. Yeah, they did a lot of gross stuff on there. the last season of Survivor, when they had that big eyeball on there, that girl had d chose that to eat. I was like, "No, no, no, no." I'm just gonna give up on I'll just be hungry. Then they have a girl that's on there on, Survivor now who can't eat coconut, like, most of the stuff that's edible there, she can't eat any of it. Like, "Girl, why'd you even go on Survivor?" But they earn my respect because 'cause I'd be like, "Can you no, I'm not no, I'm not doing this." Survivor is definitely not my place to be, but they love it. I love it for them. I never sit this long and crochet because 'cause I'll do it and then I'll get up, put it down, and go do something else and put it down. It's really loopy. Okay, is it loopy like that kinda loopy? Oh, the gremlins are out again. Is it loopy like that? Because if it's loopy like that, then it's okay. Because that's what it should look like. Gotta do my shake it off. It's going the wrong way. Okay, you might be okay because that's what mine looks like, a loopy doily. And Top Chef is back on. But where is Padma? I didn't even know she was leaving the show. Let me see. So we've been doing this for at least an hour. And we are close to finishing. When is Project Runway coming back? I watched that one making doll. Um, they've already had season 20, so I'm waiting for season 21. It should be coming soon because Top Chef and Project Runway usually are around the same time. And we're into like episode, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 of um, um, Top Chef. They had a really interesting episode on Top Chef. They um, had to they got a recipe. It was from a black chef from the 50s, I think. He and his wife were the first ones that had the first black people that had a cooking show on TV. I think that's what it was. But they had to use the recipe. They had to go to the farmer's market and buy stuff, but they didn't know what they were buying for it to cook. You know, they just had to buy whatever they were going to buy. Then when they got back, then they would find out what they were going to cook. So they had to use his recipes and try to incorporate whatever they purchased with that recipe. It was interesting. And now that's stressful. I don't care what nobody that those cooking shows, those are stressful to me. Cooking is so what's the word? Everybody's palate is different. Like me, I I I always say, "Oh, I wish I could do one of those foodie things." But then if they brought some eggs out, then I'd be like, "No, I don't want to taste it." So I am not the one that could be doing food reviews and stuff like that. So I don't care too much for Final Cut. No, I didn't like that either. New fashion show, but we'll watch though. No, but they've only had what three? Because I binged watched them, and I was like, "This is all right," but I like Project Runway better. And then I love Next Level Chef. Oh my goodness, now that's stressful. I was like, when I watch these shows, I was like, why do people put themselves through it just to entertain us? I know they do it for money, but the Next Level Chef is definitely that's hard. A lot of those chefs are not chefs. So some of the stuff that they have to do is like, I've never done that before. I've never used that before. I never. They get them from um, social media. A few of them are chefs, and then home cooks. So they have 3 categories: professionals, home cooks, and social media chefs. But a lot of people go very far, even if they don't win the competition. They get picked up for other things. It's just like, look at Jennifer Hudson. She didn't win American Idol, but she's won an Oscar, an Emmy, a Grammy. She's an EGOT. So Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. I think she's an EGOT. Let me think. Is she a Tony? Did she win a Tony? But anywho, and she has her own show that I really don't watch, but she got her own talk show. So you don't necessarily have to win to make it big. You know, you get that exposure. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. How many rounds am I supposed to have? Okay, so 9 rounds is how many rounds of just doing the single loops, no increasing. So total, once you finish, you should have a total of 14 rounds when we get to, let me see, what round am I on right now? Then so I'm on round 12 right now, I think. Even with my stitch markers, I don't remember. So I think I took the stitch marker out and then forgot to put it back in. When I watch what is it? Top Chef, and they say their ingredients or say the name of what they're cooking, I said, obviously, I don't go to restaurants with this stuff, 'cause I don't know what the heck they're talking about. But I love Top Chef because you get a perspective of all different countries on that show. That's why I like the runway show, because you get a whole lot of different people. Artists are um, designers, they are very eccentric people. But as I say, it's all about that exposure because you don't necessarily have to win. The win gets you where you want to get to, but you may not even win. It may not get you because you still got to do the work. You still got to. They open up that door for you, but you got to step in and you have to be ready. Definitely have to be ready. I paid for that and that crochetpreneur, whatever it's called, thing. I got it at a discount. I was so glad. I waited for the price drop, and I have missed everything that has been sent to me. I had one of those I call them all crooks. They always trying to get your money. I saw something where it says, "Thank you for your purchase of something," and it had $599 on there. So now I'm like looking at all of my credit card statements, like to see if something was charged on my account for $599. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm keeping a close. I was like, I don't see anything that's other than saying Gigi the Crochet Queen or whatever it said on there. Like somebody is out to get me. But somebody has sent an email about my business license being renewed, and I was like, ooh, not the not the renewal of the business. You have to do the uh it's not the renewal. Well, it's a renewal in a sorts, but I can't even think of what it's called. I have to update the information or whatever it's called. I can't think of what it's called for the corporations. And I was like, ooh, I forgot. And they give you from January to May to do it. And I said, obviously, I need to clean out them 20,000 emails of mine so I can see these important emails that I said, thank you, Crook, for reminding me. So I hurry up, as they say, I hurry up and did that because if I didn't do it, then after April 15th, then they penalize you of $400. And I was like, no, we are not paying y'all no extra money. I'm already paying too much as far as I'm concerned anyway. One side has more than the other side. I guess I can make it work. It's turning into something. Yeah, well, what I would suggest is to count and make sure you have 32 loops, including your chain two. And if you have more than 32, then try to do a decrease somewhere um, so that you can get to the right number. So it'll be somewhat kind of still all right. As my friend says, crochet is very forgiving. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Okay, let's see this. Okay, so I'm on just finished round 12. I don't think the black cake is going to come back. There hasn't been anything. And the Lincoln Lawyer, they keep teasing, but they haven't brought that back either. I love Lincoln Lawyer. I'll probably go and binge watch it again. I don't know if Bridgerton is going to do another sequel. They were hot for a minute. But then Regine, whatever his name is, he got too big for his britches. He was in some movie, but I don't remember what it is now. And I know I didn't watch it because I only saw them talking about it, but I don't remember what it was. As I say, things open up doors. You have to step in, be ready for it. But I haven't even seen his commercial. I forgot the car commercial that he did. I haven't seen that commercial in a long time. Tells you all what I do. Watch television and crochet. That's my life. I would do that for the larger side. But if that don't work, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Okay. Yeah, just go back and just do your counts. Make sure your counts are right because that's the only thing that's going to throw it off. That's why I know that black one that I did back there. I'm like, I missed something somewhere. But by the time I figured it out, it was already finished. Once I put it on Bonita's head, I was like, this one is smaller than the other ones. So I know I missed a round or two. I was watching Wheel of Fortune, and they had a on Fridays, they do a Friday giveaway or something like that. I forgot what it is. 'Cause I hardly ever just, like, sit and watch a whole Wheel of Fortune show, but I was for some reason, yesterday, I said, "Well, let me watch." And then, of course, they were talking about the Spin ID. I had a Spin ID years ago, never did anything, stopped watching it, life started lifing, and I just, fell off the wagon. So I did another Spin ID, and then when I saw the Friday giveaway, it's a train ride, um, through Canada, I think? Yeah, through Canada, and it's so weird. I was like, "That is what I wanna do." So I entered. Who's to say I'm gonna win, but I entered anyway, just for the hell of it. But if I won that, I would be through the roof, 'cause that is what I want to do, and it'd be really nice to do it on somebody else's dime. I have a friend, she's from Canada, and she doesn't like to fly, so she takes the train to Canada. The last, Hey Kelly, how are you today? Thank you for joining me, and I hope you get a thumbs up. What are you working on? What's your weather like? We are working, Darcia and I don't know if anybody else is, but Darcia and I are working on, I love this pattern. This pattern is so pretty. But this is the vintage Snood. I think it was, yeah, Terry McMillan's last book that I read. I haven't read a book in so long. I'm collecting books so that I can read some books in retirement. I have a slew of books. I just buy them, sit them aside, try to brush some of the dust off. So I want to get back. I love to read, but I just don't have time. But that was one of the things. I don't even remember the title of the book now that I think about it. But they did. I think that was one of the things that they were going to do or plan on doing was a cross country train thing. I was like, my other goal is to do. Um, I want to go to every capital in the 50 states. Haven't done I've done a few, but not even half. So far behind the 8 ball on that. And the reason why is because I keep going to the same places all the time. I need to start finding vacationing in the capitals of the different states. But the those like, I don't like cold weather, so well, I usually do all my vacationing in August anyway, because most places are still warm. I did go to Connecticut, when my daughter was little in August, and it was chilly. I was like, "Why is it cold in August?" Even when we went to, San Diego, in July, it was cold for me. So, my little jacket that I wore on the plane, I wore that jacket the entire time I was in San Diego. So that's another thing. I just want to get some more capitals. When my, friend and I went to Paisley Park in Minnesota, St. Paul is the capital, which is right next to where we were. Just had to step over. Say, okay, been to the capital, Twin Cities. Minnesota was nice, but it was cold. It was in July. It was a little chilly. I mean, it was in August. It was a little chilly. Kept my jacket on there too. But it was so nice. Got to go to Prince's home and do the tour and see all the different. They had two murals of Prince throughout the city, and went to the that big mall. What is that mall? Mall of America. Went there, and it's really it's because Chaston is where Paisley Park is. Oh, and went to see the Vikings stadium. Huge stadium. You can put the Dolphin Stadium in that stadium twice probably. But when that's the only team in that state, then they build bigger so that at least a lot of people can come, I guess. But we had a good time. I had a good time. I was glad my friend said he would go with me. So I could say I've been to Paisley Park. And you see, Darcy, I said, when you just held yours up, mine had that curl to it. One side is getting bigger, the curl is getting deeper. You can put it on your head and your braids can fit. You missed somewhere, you started adding some stitches, and somewhere you decreased some stitches. That's the only thing I can figure out that you did. Because so yours doesn't look like this? So one side of yours is bigger than the other side? Well, this is my last round for this. Oh, Kelly says she loves that vintage stuff. I don't even know how I came across this lady's channel. I don't know what I was looking for, but it just popped up and I saw that. I was like, oh, that's cute. Let me look at that. And so I watched the video. I was like, oh, I like this. And then, of course, I got the bug. Usually when I see something that I like and it's quick enough for me to do, I do multitude of them until I get tired of looking at them and I ran out of colors I want to use, and or I'm just bored with it at that point. Claudette did a little granny square. I used mine for my earbuds, and it's so cute. I mean, it's just a simple granny square with a loop, basically. But how many granny squares have we done? And oh, it's just a granny square. But then somebody does something else and adds a loop and adds a way to hold it. Then it's something different. I was looking in my that book. Um, I forgot what she calls jazzy tops or funky tops or something like that. Um, and I kept saying I want to do something out of this book. I'm trying to get me some crochet at least one outfit for my trip to NOLA. I'm almost, I won't say almost. I'm getting close to being finished with my corner to corner maxi skirt. That I'm definitely going to take to New Orleans with me. if it turns out the way I'm thinking it's gonna turn out. I'm definitely gonna have to put a lining in it. I don't roll like these young girls. I'm not just gonna put on some panties and go on about my business, or put on a thong and go on about my business. I'm shocked when I see some of the stuff these girls do. Ooh, I said, do they not look at themselves from front to back and see? Man, I said, maybe they like it like that. And then when I see them with guys, I'm like, didn't your dude say something? And I'm like, all your exposure and stuff? But to each its own. She like it. I love it for her. But if she was my daughter, ain't rolling like that, sister girl. Okay, Darcia, where are you? Did you frog it or you still working? Okay, so that is what mine looks like. That should be round 14. That should be 14 rounds, I should say. Where's my, there it is. Hope that's right. I think that's 14. If not, it's gonna be one short. Okay, so for round 15, if you're there, my bottom part sort of looks like yours, but deeper. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, for round 15, we're going to single crochet into the same loop, chain two, and single crochet into the next loop, and just repeat that all the way around. And this will bring it in. This will start to decrease it to bring it in. Hoping I got my count right. Okay, single crochet into that same space, chain two, single crochet into the next loop, chain two. Okay, repeat that. Okay, so where your chain two and um, double crochet is, where you finished, do a single crochet in that space, chain two, and then do a single crochet in the next space, and chain two, single crochet in the next space, and repeat that all the way around. I should say next loop, each loop. Okay, almost finished with this round. Okay, so now it's going in. Okay, Darcia, let me know where you are. Okay, I'm trying to get around. I'm sorry, my fingers are a bit stiff. Go ahead. I hear you. Okay, no problem. All right, so where am I? Okay, so on round 16, you should, on round 15, you should single crochet into the first single crochet when you get around finishing up round 15. Then on round 16, you chain one, single crochet in the next single crochet, and repeat that around. So you chain one single crochet into the next single crochet. So let me go and slip stitch, single crochet into the single crochet. And that is going to bring it in even more. Oh, I'm going to put this over here. Tilt over. Okay, so round 16, you're going to repeat that 3 more times. Then you can fasten off. And then we can make the bow. Yep, it looks right. Yep, that's the shape. That's what the opening. So you have 4 rounds of the single crochet chain 1. And that will be the end of it. Hey, Regina, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. What are you working on? What is your weather like? Darcia and I are doing a vintage snood. Wonder where that name comes from. Miss VJ, are you still on? Because I'm sure you are the historian in here. I have a book about where's my I have a book of the history of crochet or something like that. I don't know where it is. Thought it was over there. It's a hardcover book somewhere. I don't see it. Now I'm gonna have to look for it. 74 and sunny. Ooh, working on another mermaid. Oh, those mermaids are too cute. I finished this. I'll be ready to eat. Two more rounds to go. This is the my latest one that I did. She was supposed to be a bunny, a little bunny rabbit, but I didn't like the long legs for a bunny. So I just made into a little doll with some curly cues and a bun. But I didn't put anything inside to keep her head from wobbling because I wasn't thinking at the time. I was just making. But I love her little dress. I'm gonna do another one, and this time I'm gonna pin her wig cap on so it's not crooked, so I can sew it down right. But she cute. I didn't give her any lips. She don't need no lips because she cute. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Regina. She was fun to make and didn't take hardly any time. So the next time I do it, it shouldn't take hardly any time. We shall see. We shall see. Knowing me, I'll find something else I want to do and forget about that. The bunny is real. The picture, I thought it was going to be small, but like I said, I know I used different size yarn and definitely a different size needle because she was using a 2. But the yarn that I was using, there was no way I was going to be able to use a 2 millimeter crochet hook. But if I use that yarn that I got from Hobie, it'll definitely be small then, for sure. Because that's what I usually use, the 2 millimeter hook with that yarn. I wanted to do this vintage snood in the 3 weight or number 3. It's number 3 crochet thread because I made the hairnet for my daughter in that. Mind you, I don't know if she actually wears it or not. I know she wore it the first night. She said it worked great for her. That was a trial and error. I frogged that thing so many times because I have to make the hole small enough so her hair doesn't fall through. But I finally got it and put some elastic in that and made sure it wasn't too tight. Just wanted some elastic in there. So that's why I had to slow it down. My fingers are killing me. Okay, no problem. Take care of yourself. I'm going to finish it. Since I started it, I gotta finish it. And it's so important to do hand exercises too with all this crocheting. My fingers cramp up, get locked in position. Okay, this is my last round of single crochets. I appreciate you trying, Darcia. I'm not in this alone. That I had, what do I see the two? I don't know. Don't know, don't care. I get so many stupid text messages. So if y'all want to come visit Florida, better come before it goes under the ocean. At least South Beach and the Key West. I mean, Key West, I'm sure they're much deeper into under sea level than the rest of. But it's a hit or miss. When they had, I can't remember which hurricane they had. I mean, it really, really messed up the Keys, and the people that lived there, they were pretty much out there alone by themselves. Nobody was coming to check on them. They were cleaning up by themselves. No response from the state. That's why I say I can't be in the country and I can't be too far away from help. I got to be close to something because you never know. My grandmother lived out in the country and she didn't drive. So when we went to visit her, everything was a walk. And we're talking miles. But I love hanging out with my grandmama. Last round. So VJ, when you gonna come? When we gonna make this date and you come help me so I can be a professional. Professional. Mm. Okay, I'm back. I also had to run down the hall. Okay, no problem. Stretching my fingers out, getting them ready. Finish this out. I have all kinds of. This is the one thing I don't like about this T-shirt I got this t-shirt from, what's it called? Um, Sticker Mule. And every fiber of yarn just gravitates to it. It just picks up everything. Where there? Yeah. Why doesn't it feel like I'm there? I think I'm right. I'm not. Am I going into my single crochets or am I going into my spaces? I think I'm going into the spaces. You know what? I'm going to keep going. This is my last round. I'm not going to even worry about it. What is that symbol on your shirt? Oh, that's my logo. Where is it? I don't know if you can see it, but it's my logo. It's my face. I was watching. I don't even know how. Oh, I clicked on it because she was gonna be talking about um, what do you call it? Craft fairs, doing craft fairs, being a vendor or whatever. So that's why I clicked on it. And then she started talking about, going through a divorce, blah 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 blah. And then she was talking about she had changed her name on her channel because of the divorce, and so she dropped her last name because that's not the last name she's going to keep after the divorce. I was like, "Ooh, child." I kept my ex-husband's last name. The only reason why I kept it because we had a child, and I know soon at school they was saying, "Mrs. Graham, Mrs. Graham." It's like, so why fight it? We can all keep the same last name, and I just kept it. So, and I do not see another husband in my future, so I am going to be Gigi, the Crochet Queen, until I have no problems with it. But when she was talking about it, I said, yes, you have to be mindful of those names you choose. You never know what's going to happen in the future. You can repeat row 16 for the next 3 or 4. Oh, you have a total of 4 rounds, so 16 repeated three more times. And I am finished. Don't I have scissors in here? Not a one. Oh, shoot, that came out. Hat is finished. Should say Snood is finished. Is PJ still there? Yeah, PJ's still there. PJ, you didn't look up where did this name Snood come from? Okay, so there it is. Come here, chickadee. Oh God, this thing is heavy. Feel like I made it too small. Yeah, I think this one's too small too. Oh no, it's not. So that's what it looks like in the back. I'm gonna close up that hole some more. And that is her in the front. And I'm gonna make the little bow. The bow is real simple. Real simple. You hear that noise rolling. I was trying to put this one on a stand and the piece that goes on the stand popped off. So it rolls around in there now. Oh, you have to take off 2 rows? Okay. So to make the bow, you want to do a chain of 8, single crochet in the second chain from the hook, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. And you want to do that until to the end. And then when you get to the end, chain 1, turn, and then you just repeat the same thing. Single crochet into the first single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into the next single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet into the last one. And you repeat that round until it is about 6 inches long. Mine looks almost like Bob Marley hat. That is good. Yeah. Did anybody see One Love? I never went to see it. I think I didn't see it because I've seen so many documentaries about him. That's another big name to follow. Tiger Woods' son is about to go pro. I think they said he's a teenager. I can't remember his age. I said, yes, go pro. If you are nearly as good as your daddy, as long as you don't get out there with all the women like your daddy did, you should do well, young man. I think his daughter's gonna be a golfer too. Shoot, I said yes. Bring all that money home. They were talking about the WNBA, the big rah-rah about Caitlin, whatever her last name, I can't remember her last name. And they were talking about her starting salary is like $76,000. And that's like a drop in the bucket compared to what the men make. I was like, man, that's why Brittany Griner was in Russia, because Russia was paying her good money. So we'll see if Caitlin's gonna bring in more money for the WNBA. I don't think any of those players make $1 million. Oh, you did took off one row instead of two. Okay. I think I'm almost finished with the bow part. In the bow part, I fold it in half and I weave in my yarn and I cinch it up. And then I sew it on to the snood. I have a, I have a ruler. No, I don't have a ruler. I got a measuring tape somewhere. Where's my measuring tape? There it is. 5. It said 5. A couple more to go. And then I attached the bow where the seam is. That way the bow covers up that seam. And you have a pretty seam all the way around. One more, and that should be. Let me see. That's 6. All right, so the little bow part is done. Nothing grand to it until you make it into a bow. So I'm going to weave in the ends on the hat. Should only have 2. Take my stitch markers out. Weave in these ends. Then we can sew on the bow and it will be finished. Do not want to cut that. Okay, so that's going to be my front where the bow goes. Hey Angela, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the thumbs up. What are you working on? What is your weather like? And Darcia and I worked on this Snood. Get that in. Some more. Done, 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 done. I'll get a sew in the end on this bow part. And that's the little bow part. Just single crochet and chain ones. Right, one side down, one to go. This yellow is perfect for the springtime. Our springtime be over before I know it. Okay. Oh, Darcia says had to check on some food. What are you cooking? I'm hungry. Okay. Now I'm going to cut the string. Cut a piece of yarn. This is dinner time. Dinner time. I thank you all for sitting here and listening to me babble and watch me attempt to make this. So I just fold it over and weave it in and out to cinch it up. And then I have my little bow. And I have my two long tails. Oh, warmed up leftovers. Okay. They are always good second time around. And I find the spot where I fastened off and I put the bow there, and that's where I'm going to sew it on. Some of them I sewed the bow flat on, some of them I didn't. On the picture, it's not flat, but some of them I wanted it to be flat. And just sew however you sew, because I don't like to sew, so I do the best I can with it. Because this is my least favorite thing to do. If I could figure out how to single crochet it on, I would have. Okay. Call this. And I still haven't sewed the linings in my purses that I made. That just tells you how much I don't like to sew. But I need to get those linings sewed in. I think I'm gonna lay these flat. Let me see. I'm gonna lay this one that way and work on this side. So I think I'm gonna, maybe I'll just have the top of it. I don't know. I see, I don't like when they flop like that. But anywho, that's the bow on. I don't like it. Come here, chickadee. I haven't decided if I'm gonna sew it flat on there or leave it where one side is up. I just realized that this is red heart yarn. That's why it doesn't have as much give as the big twist yarn. And I think I made the other ones with big twists, and this was made with red heart as well. So that's why it doesn't have so much give. All right, get this out of the way. Get this out of the way so she can be. I don't know. Her hair is driving me bonkers too. Let me take your hair off. There. That better? Yeah, I like that better. I think I'll leave it like that. She's finished. It's all done. Just got to weave in those ends. I love this pattern though. Let me see. That's pretty much y'all's are moving now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Angela. And again, thank you, Darcia, for hanging in there with me. But VJ put the YouTube channel that I got this from. She does a few different, a couple of different things on when she did hers that are not exactly like the pattern, but I did mine like the pattern. The only thing she did different was I think she chained one and then did her single crochet, but I didn't do that because the pattern doesn't say chain one and do a single crochet, so I didn't. But if you watch the video, And I tried to do a screenshot of the pattern where her fingers weren't in the way. So that's what I got. Her hook is in the way, but the pattern, her fingers weren't in the way. So that's what I did. And I looked at the pattern and said, okay, it doesn't say chain one there. But anywho, it's done. So Darcia posted on the Facebook, on my Facebook group, so I could see how it turned out. And I'm really hungry, y'all. So I'm gonna get off of here and go get me something to eat. But I thank you all for sitting while I did my quote unquote crochet along. And VJ, you haven't answered me yet. Are you gonna help me or not? I'm gonna figure it out one day. I really had hoped that I had figured it out, but I work all the time, so it was like not on the list of things to do. Once I saw that it was not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be, I said, okay, I'll come back to that. I would do another one, but I will slow down your replay. Okay. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I like these. I wish I could tolerate having stuff on my head. I would be wearing these all the time, but my locks are too thick, too long. I don't need anything else to make me hot. Nothing. Uh, this is good. You used to do it like this before. I sure did. I sure did. Because Regina says she likes my home. How did she say it? My hometown or something. I forgot how she said it. But anywho, that is all I have for today. I'm gonna go get me something to eat and work on my halter top. I should go back and do some work, but I'll do that tomorrow. I just can't go back to that computer today. I've spent too much time on this computer already. That's enough computer time for me for today. Now it's time to vegetate and watch some crime shows. So I thank you all again for sitting through my almost 3 hours. And as you can tell, it'll take you about 3 hours to finish that hat, depending on how fast you crochet. 2 to 3 hours, it should be done, depending on how fast you crochet. I am not a fast crocheter, so 3 hours for me is perfecto. I'll just use this one. It's faster. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go and get me something to eat. And Darcia, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. And I hope that when you do the second one, it works out great for you. So you can do a whole bunch of them. Because I actually want to do one in every color I have. But I know I need to do some other things. I got to put it down. Call it a day. Call it a day. Love you. Thank you so much. Love you too. Thank you. So you all have a good rest of your evening. And I'll see you in these YouTube streets if it allows me. And until my next video or my next live, everybody stay safe. Keep crocheting. Bye-bye. It won't stay. It won't go. Why won't it go? Because nothing wants to work for me today. Okay. I think it did it.